an American husband, his wife, and his Filipina girlfriend. Good morning, guys. Welcome to a new video. Today we talk about an American husband who was caught with his Filipina girlfriend in a motel. The wife, she's also an American citizen. She found them, and then she stabbed the girlfriend to death. This happened in 2016 in Las Vegas, Nevada. The husband is a former U.S. Army soldier. He had served in Iraq, was honorably discharged. But the wife, she stabs the girlfriend multiple times. So he drops her, and he runs to the car. He gets into the car. He drives away from the scene. Later on, he turned himself into the cops. He confessed everything. The girlfriend, she gets up and she runs out of the room. The wife chases her, and she continues stabbing her. That's BS because his wife saw all of these Facebook posts showing that he was in Vegas, even one where he was standing outside of the motel. The husband, he left Texas with his girlfriend so he could surprise his wife in Vegas. He thought it would be funny to surprise her like that. Let me tell you why it's not funny. You have a knife in your hand. He also said his client is a good man. He was a hero in Iraq. The defendant planned this trip to Vegas with his girlfriend for weeks. He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew it would hurt his wife. In fact, I think he wanted his wife to get hurt. Why else would he send her those cryptic text messages saying, "Take care of yourself"? The defendant wanted his wife to suspect something. He wanted his wife to get jealous. Guys, thank you for watching. Please hit the like button and subscribe. See you next time. Bye. He's the one who set this up. He's the reason why this woman is dead. Here's what the judge told the husband. You were an honorably discharged soldier. Your service was honorable. At the time of the incident, her family was getting ready to fly out to Vegas. She said the family was devastated, especially the mother. The mother couldn't understand why someone would treat her daughter this way. The ambassador told the media, if the circumstances surrounding this heinous crime could be further twisted, the victim was supposed to fly back to the Philippines on April 2016 to visit her parents, who were coming over to see her. But she decided to stay in the U.S. and continue working so she could save more money. Now the mother will never get to see her daughter alive again. They were going to visit her, but they changed their plans at the last minute. They didn't go. They stayed in the Philippines. If they would have come to Vegas, they may have stopped the attack. Maybe they could have saved their daughter's life. But being an honorable soldier does not allow you to do dishonorable things when you return home. You need to spend some time thinking about what you've done. You're standing in front of a woman who you've never met before. He also has to serve 100 hours of community service. But most importantly, he can't leave Clark County. He has to stay in Vegas. Now he will always live under the shadow of his wife. All of his friends and family are telling him to move away, to get out of Vegas. But he can't because he has to serve those 100 hours of community service. Would you say it's funny? What would your reaction be? You would probably run away or try to call the cops. But this poor woman, she had a knife in her hand. She didn't know what to do. She started crying. If he didn't know his wife was coming to Vegas, how come he was taking all these precautions? She said, "Who are you?" The girlfriend said, "I'm your husband's girlfriend." The wife asks, "How long have you two been together?" The girlfriend says, "Only 3 months." The wife says, "That's long enough." Then she pulled out her knife and she started stabbing her. The girlfriend fell to the ground and she died right there. How come his face was pale when he saw his wife? How come he tried to run away? Other people are running around the motel trying to stop this wife. But the wife, she keeps stabbing the girlfriend until she finally collapses. He moved back to the States after he got out of the service. He married a woman from Texas. They lived together in Texas for several years, and then he met this Filipina woman. He brought her to Texas. She said it just happened. I don't know what came over me. I lost control. I didn't mean to kill her, but I didn't feel bad about it either. The judge, he looked at her and he said, "You don't have to say anything else. I already know who you are. You are a cold-blooded killer." The judge sentenced her to 27 years in prison. The husband and his girlfriend, they had been staying there for a few days already. It's day 4. On the 4th day, the husband, he goes down to the motel office to get more towels. As he's walking down the hallway, he sees his wife standing outside of their motel room door. His face turns pale. He looks at his girlfriend. Girlfriend, she starts crying. The husband, he runs away from his wife and he tries to hide in the motel room, but his wife stops him. She walks into the room and she sees the girlfriend hiding in the bed. But then he later told his wife that he was going to Las Vegas to take care of some business. He asked his wife for $350. His wife gave him the money. He left. He didn't tell his wife where he was really going. He took the girlfriend along. When he arrived in Las Vegas, they went straight to a motel. Several days went by, and the husband still didn't tell his wife where he was. So his wife did something very suspicious. She got on Facebook and she started looking for her husband. She found his location. It said he was in Las Vegas. So she bought a plane ticket and flew to Las Vegas to confront him. So now let's go over to the motel. Now the wife, she has a knife in her hand. The husband tells his wife, "Don't do anything stupid." At this point, the husband, he comes out of the motel room and he grabs his girlfriend, tries to carry her, but she's too heavy. Now, when the police questioned the husband, he told them that he had no idea his wife was coming out to Vegas. Now, here's what we know. And then the wife confronted her. Now the wife, she confessed to the crime. As for the husband, he received probation for 3 years. In court, the husband's lawyer said his client was abused in combat, developed PTSD. That's why he cheated on his wife. Here's what the prosecutor said. The defendant betrayed the trust of his wife. He lied to her repeatedly. He deceived her for months. The Filipino girlfriend, she was only 24 years old. The Filipino ambassador in Washington, D.C., she talked about this case. She called it brutal, vicious, evil. Before the murder, the girlfriend worked at a nail salon. Here's my question for you. You think the husband had something to do with his wife killing his girlfriend? Share your thoughts in the comment section below.